Paul Hofwolt.
Could you spell that for us?
Hofwolt.
Great. And when were you born?
October 13, 1924.
1924?
Right.
And where were you born?
Canova, South Dakota.
Could you talk about your family at the time?
Well, how far back in the family?
Well, how about your family that you grew up with?
You told my brothers and stuff. Okay, I have 4 brothers. I'm the oldest, and there is Lloyd, Wesley, Dale, and Harvey.
And how was it growing up as the oldest?
Just like any other family, them days, was pretty much horse and buggy.
Mm-hmm. So, did you enlist or were you drafted?
Well, I didn't get your word.
Did you enlist or were you drafted?
I was drafted.
When?
January, I think 1944, and of course in Korea that's World War II.
Korea.
And in Korea, there I belonged to inactive reserve, which they wasn't supposed to call us till National Mercy. You know how the president, so forth, does. He don't keep his word.
So you were in World War II?
Oh, yes.
You're also a World War II veteran?
Right?
And where were you in World War II?
I was in the Pacific from see what you call it.
So after World War II ended, what happened to you?
Well, okay. Like worst I never regret, but I signed up for inactive war and
Inactive duty?
active reserve.
Okay.
But those, which wasn't, we were supposed to be safe. They couldn't supposed to be able to touch us as far as drafting or anything else. I left the press to declare war.
So the Korean War broke out and they did actually use you. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Did you know where Korea was at the time?
Oh, yeah.
How did you know about Korea?
I know the North Korea and South Korea.
Did you learn about Korea when you were in school?
Well, I'm sure, I don't remember anything about it, but I'm sure that in our geography, they said that was brought up clear.
So, you knew where you were going to go.
Oh yeah. You gotta go to Japan and then from there on to Korea.
And what unit were you a part of during the Korean War?
Let's see. I think I was in headquarters. See, I never seen any fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And headquarter company was pretty much stationed on the West Coast.
The west coast of Korea?
Yes.
So you are part of the headquarters company?
Yes.
And this is in the army?
Yes, Army.
So when did you arrive in Korea?
I don't remember.
Was it in the beginning of the war or later in the middle? Do you
I
recall?
would say in the middle.
In the middle. Okay. Do you know where you landed in Korea?
Oh yeah, that's down in, if I don't have the names mixed up, down the southern coast of Korea, down in Seoul.
Down
Seoul,
south?
that's that capital. Down in the lowest city in Korea. I can't think of that name now. No. It was a long, long time ago.
Yes. So you arrived in the southernmost tip, but you said you were stationed in Western Peninsula, right?
Yeah. When we moved up the coast, we was stayed on the western. The 8th Army, if I still remember correctly, was stationed up. What's the Korea's capital? South Korea.
Seoul.
They were stationed there.
So were you with them?
Well, the attachment I was on we was in their area, but we weren't. I don't believe we ever were stationed in Seoul or that capital.
You went to North Korea?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you said that you were near Seoul and you were part of the headquarter company?
Yeah.
So what was your job there?
I was up there at the UN peace camp. We weren't stationed there, but we come there in the morning. I was up there 4 days, and my younger brother was up there, set up there 5 days.
Your brother?
Yeah, Lloyd.
Your brother was in Korea with you?
Yeah, yes, he was. He's a different unit.
Did you guys enlist? I mean, were you drafted together or did you come over together?
No, he was in different units than I was, but is still with the 8th Army headquarters.
What was it like being with your brother in Korea? Were you scared
Well,
for him?
We weren't stationed together, but we could travel to them, and then he could travel to me on my outfit. I don't remember exactly where he was stationed, but I know it was on the West Coast.
And did you go to North Korea?
Well, I went, quite a few of us went up there for the UN, represent the UN Peace Conference, Committee.
You represented the United Nations?
In one way, yes.
Were you a United Nations officer?
Nope.
So could you explain how you
I
were...
was in there I was a PFC.
Okay. And so you were PFC in the Army and you represented the United Nations up at the conference?
Oh, we was workers who got things ready for the conference.
So did you meet any North Koreans?
No, I don't personally meet him, no.
Do you know when the date is for the conference that you say that?
Oh, that's the peace conference they had for agreements where the line, where North and South Korea's line was going to be.
Are you talking about the armistice?
Remember, they had talking back and forth about a lot of things.
So when did you prepare for the conference that you were a part of?
Well, I went up there to as far as a delegate, no.
But so what did you do exactly for the conference? You just set up for them?
Well, we had to get the pull the nail out, as my brother called, so they open up the kitchen so they can eat. This is where their peace conference was.
Kaesong. You were in Kaesong?
Oh yeah, I was there. Our convoy came up there when I was in there 4 days. But we always went back home.
So is that the only place you were? Kaesong? You went from Seoul to Kaesong. That's where you were, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So did you go anywhere else besides Kaesong?
Well, Kason was in the enemy line.
You were the door guy. You greeted?
And
Did you greet people at the door?
nope, we disappear.
You just opened the door and then you left?
Right.
So did you see any delegates from
Nope.
No?
We were gone.
What did you do after you did that then?
Well, we were on our own, but remember, we were unarmed.
Yes, you were unarmed. You said you were in Seoul, right? This is what it looks
Yeah.
like today. And I want you to look at this and tell me how it's different from what you remember.
Are you sure it is?
I'm sure that's Seoul, Korea. Seoul, South Korea.
That's what I seen.
Isn't that amazing? How much it's changed? How does that make you feel?
Oh, I'm glad for them. Long as North Korea and the Chinese stay out.
Are you proud of your service?
Oh, sure. I was drafted originally, but I never regret being in the military.
Would you go again if they called you back?
Well, yes, no. If they call me back, they're gonna have to give me a good reason because I am 92 years old.
Yeah. It was your service that allowed Korea to change like this. Without your service, there's no way Korea could have changed from what you saw when you got there to this.
Yeah, I understand that, and I'm glad. Well, I never was sorry I wasn't sorry. My attitude was, so I was a Christian, been saved, and I knew if I live or die, that where I'm going to be going to heaven, and so I try to make, when I was in the service, to make the best of it and still believe in God and God protection.
That's great. I want to thank you for coming to this interview today, and thank you for your service and for what it did to create the South Korea you just saw today.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be there, God's willing.